Hey everybody, this is Josh coming to you with a solo episode. Now, I had a whole other solo episode planned. If you guys have been following us for the last few weeks, or if you've been following us since the beginning, this is an awesome time for us to kind of have some solo episodes and to get to kind of know the group of people, for us to talk to you one on one so you can kind of get to know like Brian and I's personality maybe a little separate, because you might hear us together and it might be kind of interesting for you to hear us separate. So this solo episode is actually going to be different. Brian did one back, I'll date this a little bit, on the future. And then he did another one. And then he did one with Sabrina. And that was a non-solo episode. But that was just an episode where they talked. And it got me thinking, like, I just want this episode, I'm going to kind of do a 180 on Brian here. And my solo episode is going to be a little different. Like, he talked about the future, and I want to talk about just the slight past and then going into the future a little bit. I also wanted to kind of wrap in the value of friendship from my perspective, because I've had so many personal things in the last 115 days that if I didn't have a really good friend like Brian, would have been really hard to get through. And it's still hard to get through. And so I want to kind of wrap in what I feel about the friendship and the value of that. All right, so let us launch out onto the loop and let's talk about this. All right, everybody. So I wanted to do like a 180 on Brian a little bit. I just think it's good sometimes for us to keep each other on our toes, because we've been friends since, goodness, I've known Brian since 1987. And we have been friends, like really good friends, since about like 1990 or so. So, like when you think about that just in itself, we're in 2023. So that's, 33 years that I have been really good friends with Brian, 36 years that I've known Brian, and we were actually very young. It was extremely interesting, and at some point we have actually posted pictures of us, but we might post some more pictures and stuff like that. We might actually have an episode talking about, again, like this, because I think I'm kind of wrapping in the friendship thing and then talking about the future of our friendship a little bit instead of the future of CC, because I believe the future of our friendship and the future of CC is kind of wrapped together. And so I want to just kind of bring you guys into my little world for a second here. So I'm going to pull back a little bit. So I live in South Florida, and we had a Hurricane Ian, and it damaged my house. So I'm still not able to live in it as of right now, but we're working on it. Things are going our way. But Brian right away stepped up, and he was able to get in contact with me. And what was awesome about that was that he helped me get through the immediate needs that I had. And even though we had access to a lot of things, some things like we just didn't have access to because we didn't have the internet, we didn't have this. So he was helping like get us get back to kind of like somewhat functional, right? So I just want to say thank you again, and I know I've said thank you a lot of times for that. Also, right after that, now we were kind of recovering from that whole thing. I had to leave unexpectedly on New Year's Day. I had to fly up to Minnesota unexpectedly. So and I had to kind of leave CC kind of lurching a little bit. And that's where Brian filled in with the solo episodes. And then we had already planned these solo episodes anyway, because I had mine recorded. And I just hadn't posted them yet. And he's like, well, I'll post them, and then I can post my own. I'm like, well, I don't have them yet, and I can't do it right now, so we're just going to leave. And we'll figure it out. And Brian's like, don't worry about that. We'll figure it out. And so I want to thank him for that, too, because that's a huge weight on me. CC and CC stuff. All right, so let's get to the episode at hand. I want to talk about the future of Brian and I's friendship, and conversely, I want to talk about the future of CC, because I believe they're intertwined. And so I want to be a little more pragmatic with it. Also, I want to be a little more. I just want to be a little different about it. I want to actually talk about the future of CC because I get questions a lot. Brian gets questions a lot. We talk about it a lot. Where we always say if you want to know more, dive deeper. Sign up for our newsletter. Sign up on CuriosityContinuum.com. Thanks for tuning in. Let's start the conversation. So when we do that, when you guys log on to CC, CuriosityContinuum.com, and you sign up, we actually capture your email that way. Now, we have sent one email out in 4 years, and that's on us because part of it is Brian and I have been struggling, honestly, to find a meaningful way for you guys to communicate with us and with each other that's not spam related with a bunch of, spam emails and a bunch of stuff. So we always want you to be able to just communicate with each other quickly. And in the last few years, really, that has become possible. And so the future of CC and the future of that email list and the future of how you guys want to connect and get is going to happen. It's going to happen in a way that's very meaningful, and I think it's going to happen in a way that is going to be it's going to be different but familiar. So we're really planning on a CC Discord type setup, and probably more direct emails to you guys in the next 3 to 4 months. We always say that. We always push it off. We're also planning, I know in the future, we're planning at some point, I don't know when this is going to happen, if at all, in this year anyway, but we do want to plan video podcasts because we do know that people want video podcasts. You want something to put on YouTube when you're at work, or if you're just, you just listen to the audio that way. And so we know that YouTube has become the number one way people are engaging with podcasts, which if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I would have said, no way, that's not going to happen. But that's the way it's happened because that platform is on every single platform. So, and what I mean by that, I mean Android and iOS. So on your Apple device or your Android device, you can get access to YouTube. Now, on either of those devices, you might get access to one or the other, but not both. So I wanted to kind of just talk about that whole process too. So Brian and I have always talked about we want everyone to be able to talk in a meaningful way. And the process with that would be we want you to be able to come in and go as you see fit and not feel bogged down like you have to communicate. So it's not like a Twitter, for example, or a traditional forum type setup. So that's where we believe Brian and I are going to put a lot of our eggs in the basket of Discord. So we are setting up the CC Discord now. We have it set up. It's rudimentary. But we want to be able to kind of show it to you guys and say, oh, here's what we've got a place for you guys to go. Now with that, we're also going to be launching, I believe, some kind of subscription tier. And it's going to cost something. We're not sure what it's going to cost. And I'm going to be 100% honest. It's got to cost something because it's not money that we're making, but it's money that is offsetting the costs of doing business. And that's just time, materials, and and other people's labor that we have to bring in. Because there are people, when we're building out for a community that is as engaging as CC wants to be engaged in, we're going to need people to help us along the way. Because Brian and I just can't do it all that. So if you're listening to this and you do want to help, like if you want to be a moderator on Discord, or if you want to have skills or know of somebody that wants to help, even on the CC website or a newsletter side, email us, let us know. We're very easy to get in touch with. We have a lot of people that get in touch with us. A lot of people listen to us, and the people that do listen to us that are most active are the people I actually interact with every day. So those people, they know how to talk to me. But I would love it if somebody got on and emailed us and said, hey, I'm so-and-so from here. I listen to you guys, and I would like to be involved in the backside, the back side of the process a little bit. So keep that in mind. I'm going to leave this episode short on purpose because this is just more of an episode for me to just as a touch point on the future. And I wanted to put those stuff out there for you guys because I think 2023 is the year that we have to break out and we have to do something a little different and we need to adapt and overcome. And you guys have heard me talk about that and you heard Brian talk about that, but really the hurricane, the things in my life, the hurricane, friendships, all this stuff is going for a reason. And for the reason is to adapt and overcome, to get over the problem we have today and solve the next problem for tomorrow. And that's what I see the future of CC and the future of Brian and I's friendship is it's not going anywhere. In fact, it's getting better. And as time goes on, it's getting better. So we just want to make everything all it can be. And to do that, we're going to really be pouring a lot into it. So in the next few weeks, you guys are probably the next 5 to 6 weeks, we're going to have some meaningful things to share with you and to start pulling some certain select people in. So please reach out to us on email or Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. Message us or however you want to message us. Let us know you want to be involved. Or even if you're one of those people that just like, yeah, I'd love to join a Discord when available. Email us and let us know. We'll put you on that list. So I don't have much more to say. I'm going to keep this episode a little shorter. That's kind of my episode on the future of CC and Brian and I's friendship. Talk to you guys later.